Hey, I just wanted to do a quick After Effects demo. Just a reminder that you can choose to use processing to create your experimental animation, or you can use After Effects. We will be able to log into the computers in the classroom remotely. So if you don't have After Effects at home, you can use the computers in the classroom. I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but not on this video. So I have opened up After Effects here, and it looks like Premiere, like the video editing program, but it's fairly different. Premiere is really made for editing video, and this is really for using creating special effects. After Effects is like if Premiere and Photoshop had a baby. Anywho, let's get cracking here. I opened up a project, and what I need to do now is I want to create a new composition. The project is kind of the umbrella that everything sits under, and the composition is the thing that we're actually going to be working on. For this project, you have some choices about how big you want to make it. But I'm going to go with a 1920 by 1080 because if you were to send this to or submit it to a juried show, they don't really take anything less than 1920 by 1080. Cool. I'm going to make my background color black, and I'm going to name this composition Moving Shapes. So I'm going to leave everything else the same. Here's one thing, is when you're in Premiere, your timeline goes on forever. But in After Effects, you have to preset the length of your composition. Now, I'm going to make mine 30 seconds long, and that's great. I had it for 4 minutes earlier. I don't even know what project I was working on that I would have had it be 4 minutes. Okay, I'll hit OK. And here's my composition. Here's the timeline that we're used to when we're in Premiere. And over here is a bunch of stuff we're not used to, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So the nice thing about After Effects is that, yes, I can draw in After Effects, and I will. No, I'm not going to draw for today. The nice thing is that you can draw in After Effects, but really it is meant to. What I have is a document in Illustrator that is 1920 by 1080. And I have, if we look at my layers, oops, my layers are off the side there. And I have one layer with all of these objects on it. I'm going to bring this into After Effects, and I would like to animate these. A couple things to note. In this case, some of the content is larger than the 19 by 20 screen. That's fine because I need a little wiggle room from animation. But the thing is, I would like to animate this separately from this. So what I need to do is I need to take these objects out of that one layer and put them into their own layer. Sometimes it works well to just grab them and pull them outside of that layer, but it doesn't look like that's working now. So I think what I'm going to have to do is highlight my objects. I'm going to copy them, and then I'm going to take them out of that layer and give them a new layer. I'm going to lock this layer and paste it. The one thing that would be nice that I didn't have here is I should name these layers because that will get pulled into After Effects and it'll be a little bit easier for me. I'm in Illustrator. I'm going to turn off that layer, and I'm going to go to my next object here, which is locked. So let me grab that. I didn't group these, to be honest, which would be easier, but that's not what I want apparently. Again, I'm going to add another layer. I'm going to paste that there, and I'm going to call it Sun 2. And I'm turning these off once I get them out of the layer, the original layer that they're in. So I'm going to add a layer, yellow triangle. I'm going to animate these that my original position doesn't matter that much, although if it did, I could just do Command B and it would have pasted it right in place. I'm just doing Command V because it doesn't totally matter. I'll call this yellow triangle. And great, and I'm going to turn that off. And here's my stars. I'll get it out of there. Put a new layer on here. And I'm going to paste that there. Call it stars. Great. So now this layer 1 just has background and whatever this path is, which I think I can delete without too much. Nope, that's locked. Okay, delete. Get it right. Cool, everything's looking good. Looks roughly like I had it. I'm now going to save this file as animation. Whoa, or snims, y'all. Nope. Animation demo. And I'll put it on my desktop along with everything else because that's how I roll. Great. Now that I've done that, I can jump back to After Effects and let's right away try importing that. So I'm going to go File, Import, File, and I'm going to look on my desktop, which is not the best place for that, to pull this in. Now, stop. Don't pull it in directly because we need to make some choices here. Do we want it as footage, which would collapse all of my layers? No, I don't want it as footage. I want it as a composition. And I can retain layer sizes. It's both my composition and my original Illustrator file are 1920 by 1080. So let me do that. Great. And then what I see is a couple things. I have my original, look at this. That was my original composition that I made. Remember moving shapes? But all of a sudden I have a new composition, animation demo. And then I have this animation demo layers. Let's double click on the animation demo. Holy cow, here's my composition. And there's all the layers that I just named. That's pretty cool. That's just what I wanted. Let's start animating. I have my files in here. Let's start animating. What we've got is our project bin where all of our imported footage lives, and then the compositions, which is kind of like a sequence. The big difference, yeah, we have it time-based here, and this composition, let's go to the composition settings. This composition's 30 seconds long. That's fine for me. What I want to show you right now is I want to take this yellow sun here. Do you see how when I move it, it highlights this layer? And I would like to animate this sun coming onto the screen and going off the screen. So to do that, I have my sun. I'm going to twirl down this arrow here, and I see the transform tools. I would like to change the position. So the first thing I need to do is click on the stopwatch. And that's my, look where my playback controller was at the end of my composition. I did Command Z, undo, because I'm going to go to the beginning of my composition, then click on my stopwatch here, then go to the end of my composition and move this sun from my starting point to my ending point. A couple things you'll notice, there are little diamonds. There's a diamond when I clicked the stopwatch, a diamond appeared right at the beginning. But when I made a change the position, another diamond appeared. And in this way, After Effects automatically creates a keyframe. And keyframes signify change. The first keyframe has the position off to the left, and the last keyframe has the position off to the right. I actually like the timing of this. I might have wanted to extend my keyframe, or I can make it shorter and have this go more quickly, which I'll just tell you I don't want. I want it slow. So I'm just going to grab this little keyframe, this diamond, and just move it over. One thing, we have this bar kind of like letting us know where that transition's happening. And the nice thing about this bar is it's actually a Bezier curve. Do you see as I move this, I get these handlebars? So now by manipulating those handlebars, I've added a new keyframe here, but I have this different arc for my sun as it moves across the stage. All right. Now, it's a little too far off screen. I like the arc that's happening, but it's a little too far off screen. Do I move the keyframes? Yeah, I totally could move the keyframes, but I can also, just kidding, forget what I just said. I think maybe this is fine for what I want. Great. Let me take my other sun, twirl down, transform, go to position, and I'll start this off the screen here, and then I'll slowly move this across the stage like this, and let's see what that looks like. Again, when I first click on the keyframe, when I click on the stopwatch, it puts a keyframe there, but if I make any change to the position after that, a keyframe is automatically generated. Great. Honestly, I have some narration for this, so really what I should be doing is I should have recorded myself narrating so I would have a better sense of the pacing for this. But it is experimental, and it's not too important to me that the audience, the narration's kind of abstract or experimental, so that isn't too important. So it's okay that I'm animating first. Let me take my yellow triangle. Let's try something different with that. By the way, I'm hitting my spacebar to start and stop my animation. Maybe I will rotate my yellow triangle here. I'm going to start my keyframe off here, and then instead of moving my object, do you see it has 0 times 0.0, which is the degree of rotation? I'm going to just rotate that by hovering over that. And do you see how I get a double-headed cursor? I'm hovering over that and just scrolling through, just scrubbing over it. And then I get that. Now there's tons of other things that I could do. I could scale this. I could make it go opaque. And I could change the position within here. I have it like going to the left, and now I can actually grab it, or oopsie-doops, not what I meant to do, or scrub over, or I can hand code. So it goes to the left, and then from the left to the right. That is not what I want, so I'll take that out. And maybe I'll take this background and I will transform the opacity of the background. I'll start off with it 100% and then bring it down to 0. Yeah, kind of like that. Maybe 34 is good. Let's see what that looks like. Great. That triangle moving is not good, so I'll take that out. Maybe, I don't know, I have to think about it more. Oh, this is really annoying of me. I should have had fit in this window so you could have seen what I was doing all along. But maybe it's fine because the main point is this stuff down here. Cool. For starters, just remember that you can go to lynda.com through your library subscription, and there are many, many step-by-step tutorials on After Effects in there. This is just our first one to get us warmed up.